Want to welcome everybody to our wastewater treatment plant. I'm glad the rain's holding off for us, so we can keep that up. That'll be nice. Uh, my name's Stona Cosner. I'm the superintendent for the wastewater treatment plant, and just want to make sure that everybody signed in and signed up whether they wanted a tour or not, so we can get a good head count of that. So if you haven't signed in, you can see one of the staff members. Got another person coming there. So a couple items of safety. First is if we have an evacuation alarm, we just head back to the front gate is where we go. We don't expect anything, but I do have to say that just in case. If you need to use a restroom of any sort, just see one of the staff members and we can escort you to a restroom. And if you got to take a smoke break or anything like that, from here south on back, there's no smoking. You can smoke up that way, but we just have flammable chemicals back here that you don't want to smoke around. So any questions on any of that stuff? No? Okay. Well, I would like to just take a quick moment before our main speakers speak to thank GHD and PC Construction for their expertise in the design and build to ensure that we had the best possible facility that we could have. We almost never hated each other, you know, that's but seriously, we worked through so many obstacles and several frustrating days, but looking back, I wouldn't have it any other way because what happened with that was it shows that the team cared about what they were doing and everybody had an investment in making it successful. So if you didn't get upset at a project like this, you you didn't have any investment in it. So I really want to thank the entire team, you know, for that and for bringing the passion that they have to this facility, to our facility for what they do. I'd also like to thank the staff, the wastewater treatment plant operations staff and pre-treatment staff. It's just even people that are not here anymore, getting through the many obstacles that we had to get through, and was tough in the challenges that we had, but we made it to this point, and we did an exceptional job with that. The water quality lab department was always right there if we needed anything tested, so I want to thank them as well. And Dan Seal is their manager. The water and sewer facility maintenance crew, can't say enough about them and their diligence, patience, and resilience in keeping the plant running during construction, and that's all the team. Heavy rains. I was going to name all the hurricanes we've had in the last 4 years, but I didn't want to spend an hour on that. And so, you know, high flows at a wastewater plant's always been challenging. So I want to thank everybody for working through that. It just wasn't a regular construction project, as we all know. Personally, if I could, I just wanted to thank one person that I know is dedicated. Their time, their effort is just second to none, and that's Jason Michael. Without him doing what he did throughout this project, it wouldn't be what it is. He helped the engineers, he helped the PC construction, he helped GHD. He spent a lot of hours here, late nights here doing that, so thank you. So I'd be remiss if I didn't thank a couple people that are not here with us anymore, and one of those is Mark Stahusky. He was the deputy director for over 3 years of this project. He was a project manager as well, so he had a big impact on this project. So I want to extend a thank you to him. And also, there's several elected officials, several past mayors and administrations that have taken part in this effort throughout the years to get the project even started. So I want to thank them as well. Engineering staff, operating staff, just a lot of people that were here at times and now they're gone, but they know who they are. I can't name them all one by one, but I'm really appreciative of them. So our current DPW director, Zach Kirshner, I want to thank him. Tracy Coleman, she's a deputy director for our operations and engineering. And I want to thank Keith Brown and Chip Steitley. They're the assistant deputy directors. There's always, no matter what we needed, they were right there to help us, talk us through, brainstorm off of whatever it might have been. So I want to thank them. So now I can get off the stage, and it's my pleasure to introduce to you Mayor Michael O'Connor.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. This is a really wonderful day. It's been a long time in coming, and if you're an employee of the City of Frederick who had anything to do with this project or operating this plant now, if you could just stand for a moment. A lot of the work that gets done every day in the City of Frederick, as residents, we hope happens invisibly. And the work that gets done here is just about some of the most important things that we do at the local government level. The ability to provide clean water to people's homes and to take the dirty water away and treat it and put it back into the environment in a way that is responsible is why these individuals come to work every day. And I can't say enough about the work that you do. It often goes underappreciated just because for most residents, it's invisible. It happens in pipes in the ground and they don't see it every day. But I know, and the other elected officials in the city know, that the work that gets done by you every day on behalf of our residents is so critically important. I just want to take a moment to say thank you for what you do. It is certainly appreciated, even if people don't know that they appreciate it. Believe me, they do. I want to take a moment to welcome some special guests who are with us today. I'm pleased to have Secretary of the Environment for Maryland, Ben Grumbles. Thank you for being here. We'll hear from him a little bit later. We have County Executive Jan Gardner, State Delegate Carol Krim, from the Board of Aldermen, Kelly Russell and Roger Wilson, from the Frederick County Council, MC Keegan Ayer. Thank you all for being here. A number of other folks from my office and staff of the City of Frederick, and certainly welcome to all of our guests. This has been a long time in coming, and I can't say enough about the work that Stona has done to get us to this point. It requires a lot of willingness to dive into the details and overcome the trials and tribulations, and he certainly made reference to the weather, and no one would have wanted to have to contend with the kind of weather we've had to contend with over the last 3+ years of work on this project, and keep everything running at peak efficiency, and to do so in a way that made sure that not once in that time did we fail to meet our requirements in what we're supposed to do as an operator. And that's a testament to Stona, to your leadership, and to the staff that you lead here at the City of Frederick. I'm not going to say any more. This is a $50 million project, and it is a lot of money. But we would not be here able to do that without the support of the state of Maryland through grants that they were able to provide and state revolving loan funds that made it affordable for us to do it. And we really do appreciate the partnership that occurs at the state and at the county level in order to get these projects done. These really are at the core of why we exist. So with that, I'm going to, am I introducing the guest speaker, Stone, or are you coming back up here and doing something? It's me, okay. So first we're going to hear from the contractor that was involved in this project, Dan Stromberg, and then Tor Young with the engineering firm that helped bring all this together. So gentlemen.
So I apologize if I'm a little bit brief because I'm a contractor, so, you know, this isn't really my forte. But, you know, it's funny just hearing Stona talk and just think about over the last, I don't know, 4 years, Scott. This was a job just filled with challenges. It was just, and to really think about it as Stona spoke earlier, you know, the little disagreements maybe that we had and things like that, when you really think collectively about what we were able to accomplish in 4 years, the improvements we were able to make, I mean, this was a team effort. And for the most part, I want to say we actually got along fairly well for being around each other that long. You know, it can be challenging in construction. just want to say, on top of the ENR and hitting permits and all that, this was a touch-all job. I mean, we did everything, overdid almost everything on this facility, from the headworks, solids treatment, new UV, and obviously the filter structure behind us. And it was challenging. I mean, if you guys in Frederick can find any more rock to put in the ground, we certainly hit enough of that. And amazingly, when they did the borings on the job, when they did the borings before the job started, we didn't find any rock. So I don't know how that happened, but I can assure you that was not accurate. Believe it or not, we actually even found an old incinerator building underground on this project. So not short of challenges. When we think about it, even starting up the D-night filter facility, we did that in the middle of one of the wettest years in the history of Maryland. I know it was actually the wettest year in Virginia where I live. And we were able to accomplish hitting all our permit goals. And that's just amazing. Amazing how well commissioning went on this project. On behalf of PC Construction, I just want to say that we're extremely proud of the work that we put in place in Frederick. We're happy with the relationship we were able to build with the city of Frederick, and we just hope that the facility that we've provided gives the city trouble-free and quality operations moving forward. That's all I had.
Well, thank you. My name's Thor Young. I'm the project manager with GHD. We were responsible for the engineering firm responsible for the design of this. And I'd like to recognize a few of my colleagues that are here today, including Scott Croswell, who served as our design manager as well as our engineering lead during construction, and Bob White, who was very integral to the startup and training for this facility. So we've been involved in this facility for most of the decade through the planning and design phase and all the permitting that preceded the construction, and have been involved right through the construction and eventual startup and operations of this plant. And obviously this plant is a big part of the overall Maryland program to upgrade all the major treatment plants for nutrient removal. And I'll let Secretary Grumbles talk about some of the benefits and success that that program has had, and focus on this little piece of that bigger puzzle. This project, when we started this project, we didn't want to just design a facility that could meet these type of ENR limits, because in that case, could was not going to be good enough. We have a facility, there's two reasons, I guess. One is a financial reason. It's written into the permit for this facility that we have to achieve those limits, and there's quite stringent financial penalties if they're not achieved. So there's financial reasons why we want to make sure we can achieve those limits, but there's also civic and environmental reasons. The city wants to be a good steward for the environment. We want to produce a product that's going to make the rivers and bay that it discharges into cleaner than it was before. And that was a big part of it, to look out for the Monocacy River and ultimately the Potomac and the Chesapeake Bay, and do everything that we could to make the water quality as good as possible. So could wasn't good enough. We wanted to design a facility that would meet those limits. And to that end, during design, we spent countless hours, countless days, countless workshops meeting with Stona Cosner and the operations team and exploring things, as well as Jason Michael and the maintenance team. And we really wanted to explore every possible scenario, everything that could go wrong. What can we do to help mitigate that, help make it better, help make this facility better operable? Because if you think about it, we have to treat the wastewater that comes down the pipe. We have to treat all of it, and we have to do it every day, right? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, for decades to come, until some future date that this facility might be replaced by some new technology we can't even envision at this time. So we have a really long-term program. And during that, we have to design for all sorts of conditions. So there's going to be days that it's extremely hot and things are going to be overheating. There's going to be days that it's below freezing, cold, under 3 feet of snow. We've got a plan for hurricanes, storms, flooding, earthquakes, all those type of things that could happen. And the wastewater itself is not the same from day to day. Every time you put something down the drain or the toilet, it's not the same. And the wastewater changes quite a bit from day to day. So there's a lot of flexibility that needs to be built in here. So the three things that Jason and Stona and us were focused on was flexibility. We wanted a process that would be flexible for the operations staff. We wanted something that would be reliable, and we wanted something that would be resilient. And that was really the focus as we went through this facility design. During construction, Dan talked about it, extremely challenging, right? Because the whole treatment plant needs to maintain operational throughout the construction of it. So, this is like a home rehab project where you're doing the whole house, every single room, but you need to stay in the house. You can't move out with your in-laws or into a rental place. You've got to stay in the house. And not only that, you can't just move to the basement or the wing. Every room has to be occupied and fully functional throughout the construction. It's almost an impossible challenge, but Dan's team was able to do that. When it came time to start the facility, we really couldn't have anticipated what was going to happen. We had reviewed 10 years of daily data for this during the design, and designed this to happen everything that had ever happened to this plant before. But what happened last year was unprecedented. The rainfall was 50% greater than the historical rainfall, setting records across Maryland. All that rain throughout a city the size of Frederick is going to get into the collection system, and it resulted in wastewater flows to this plant that were 54% greater during the year we started the facility than during the previous year. And that's an incredible shock load. So basically, we're starting a plant where you have new equipment, untested, untried. It's new for the operators, and they're doing this under conditions that are probably as extreme as we could have ever envisioned, and perhaps more extreme. We had given the tools on account of this careful process to the team, the flexibility, the resiliency, the reliability, but it takes personal decisions to be able to take those tools and make something of it, and I just can't give enough credit to what Stona Cosner and his staff have done to get this facility to operate as well as it did during the construction. Simply amazing. Despite all sorts of the usual things that you encounter starting up a facility, and then some, they were able to take that first year of operation. This facility is designed to meet 4 milligrams per liter of total nitrogen. That's the amount of nutrient reduction it's designed for. During that first year operation, despite all those obstacles and record flows, 2.9 milligrams per liter total nitrogen came out of this facility. So simply incredible what they've done, and certainly if you have a chance after the meeting to thank the operations staff for all the countless hours and hard work that they put into this, would be much appreciated. Again, thanks for having us be involved in this project.
When you hear those details, it really brings to mind and to light the amount of time and energy that goes into making projects like this work, and the thousands of details that you have to keep track of that most of us get to walk through our daily life and not have to pay any attention to, and yet there were people on the job every day that's all they paid attention to. The details were all that they could focus on. It's my honor now to introduce the Secretary of the Maryland Department of the Environment. You have a bit of a biography in the program, so I won't read very much of it other than to say he's been our Secretary of the Environment since 2015, and it certainly is an honor to have him here at this event and to share in this partnership, which is what it takes in order to get these projects going. Secretary Grumbles, welcome.
Thank you, Mayor. Delegate Krim, as you know, I have the last name Grumbles, but I'm all smiles at events like this. It gives me such pride to be here on behalf of Governor Hogan and to see tremendously challenging work, progress. That line, that proverb that vision without action is a daydream, action without vision is a nightmare, and to see it all come together to be a world-class facility that's going to help clean the bay and make us all proud is a true honor, and I'm just all smiles, particularly after the Ravens game yesterday, where I think they're going to be Super Bowl champions, and then today I get to be with you to celebrate this monumental achievement. I do have a request, and that is of the mayor and of county executive, Gardner, and Delegate Krim, and the local leadership. My request of you is to give a standing ovation for all the employees in wastewater, public works, for the city who make this happen. Could we give a standing ovation for you all? I have been involved in clean water at the state, regional, and national level now for almost 30 years. And that saying rings true. That saying that water is life and infrastructure makes it happen. And that infrastructure is invisible and invaluable. And to see the effort, the partnership, the private sector, extraordinarily hardworking contractors, engineers, teaming up with city and county leaders and the state and the Environmental Protection Agency and the Congress to make sure that that funding does eventually come, so that we can all brag and be proud that locally the water is cleaner, regionally through the rivers and the Chesapeake Bay we're making real progress, and nationally, and yes, internationally, the governor can point to Maryland and say we are making true progress, bipartisan environmental progress, and it's something to be proud of. And so just last week, on Thursday, Governor Hogan and the governors and their representatives of 6 jurisdictions in the Chesapeake Bay watershed, the administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency, all got together to have their annual meeting to discuss each of the jurisdictions' pollution budget, the Phase 3 WIP for the total maximum daily loads, also to re-elect Governor Hogan as the chair of the 6-state Chesapeake Bay Executive Council. And the first thing the governor did was to emphasize that our state is a nationally recognized leader in investing in world-class wastewater treatment facilities. The 67 ENR facilities, including yours, are on track and are demonstrating that there is no greater, smarter way to invest than in clean water. It is the engine for the economy, and it is the reason that we can demonstrate real success for our cultural and environmental heritage of the whole Chesapeake Bay region. And so he bragged. He bragged about you, and he bragged about the other towns and sectors throughout the Maryland region who are demonstrating a real commitment to clean water. And a real commitment to clean water in the face of increasingly wilder and wetter and warmer weather. And that's a real challenge. So I'm so glad to hear that resiliency and flexibility and reliability are all key components baked into this amazing facility. And the governor not only is the chair of the Chesapeake Bay Executive Council for another year to oversee the implementation of our pollution budget plan, our Phase 3 WIP, and the WIPs of the other jurisdictions, including those upstream of us. But the whole focus is on locally driven, achievable, and balanced plans. And you cannot be a preacher of that if you yourself aren't a leader locally and throughout the state of Maryland. So again, on behalf of the governor, congratulations and thank you for the progress you're making and the commitment that each and every one of you is demonstrating for cleaner water. Let me just say a few more words about this particular project and how it all fits into one of the greatest ecosystem restoration projects the world has ever known, the Chesapeake Bay. So the 67 wastewater treatment plants, the major ones that invest not only in the BNR, which I'm really excited about. That's a key component of your project and upgrades as well as part of the $56 million we're investing in this facility. But the enhanced nutrient removal goes above and beyond the call because Maryland is a leader in clean water. And it also, as was mentioned, it can also create a cushion for the wastewater treatment plant in the city to then invest in bringing additional partners. Water quality trading is not a way to slacken our efforts for clean water. It's a way to accelerate the restoration, create incentives for more partners to buy credits. You can be creating credits that become a marketable commodity above and beyond what your permit requires you to do. That is the future. In fact, the administrator of EPA announced at the Bay meeting last week that EPA, in partnership with Department of Agriculture and Interior departments nationally, are advancing efforts and following Maryland's lead and some other states that are really focused on water quality trading. And you cannot create a market for water quality credits if you are not investing in professionally run, well-managed, world-class technology infrastructure investments. So congratulations again to you, Mayor, to all of the employees who are working at this facility and throughout the county. Executive Gardner, you have a lot to be proud of as well. I know Delegate Krim, in your leadership roles in Annapolis, will be reminding other legislators how this facility is helping us to lead in the race to restore and protect the Chesapeake Bay. And then the very last thing I want to mention is, and the governor wanted me to be sure to mention this, in his new role as the chairman of the 50-state National Governors Association, he and his colleagues decided that infrastructure was going to be one of the policy priorities. The governor is holding regional field hearings around the whole country, emphasizing that water is life and infrastructure makes it happen. It requires bipartisan commitment and teamwork, public-private partnerships. So I'm just grinning from ear to ear to be able to be here to see those who made this happen here and others who aren't here but were instrumental. It's a really important day for success. And you see, after I started talking, the sun is now shining, and it's just a great sign for the future and for the rivers and for the Chesapeake Bay. So thank you very much. Thank you.
So I don't know if you've noticed, when the wind is kind of blowing that way, you wouldn't even know you were at a wastewater treatment plant, which is kind of what you want. You want the end of the process to just smell like the air. But when the wind is blowing this way, you get a sense of what we're starting with to get to an end of the process that is as clean and high quality as the one that we have here. Secretary Grumbles, thank you so much for being here. I, too, a Ravens fan. They're not all Ravens fans here in the room today, but that's okay. That's okay. It was a good start. We do have some presentations that we would like to make today. So I'm not sure if there's an order to these or not. Stona, do you know what the... do you don't have anything? Okay, well...
I think these two first and then...
Okay. That's somebody's water. So we have two plaques here that I presume are going to be displayed in an appropriate location here at the facility in appreciation for exceptional performance during the Enhanced Nutrient Removal Upgrade Project, June 2015 to July 2019. Wastewater treatment plant staff maintained operations during the significant construction project and successfully negotiated challenges associated with learning state-of-the-art technology. Operations staff not only met nutrient removal targets set by the Maryland Department of the Environment, but exceeded them despite record high flows caused by extreme weather events. So we're going to present one of these to the operations staff. Come on up. We want to get you in a picture. Don't be shy. You can come in here and we'll step over here. And And we have one for the maintenance staff. So, Jason, bring your team up. We have 3 other presentations to make here today. In appreciation for your leadership and perseverance in getting the enhanced nutrient removal upgrade project completed, your commitment and devotion to the residents of the city of Frederick is to be commended. Congratulations on this well-deserved recognition, Project Manager Ronnie Wingfield. In appreciation for your leadership and perseverance in getting the enhanced nutrient removal upgrade project completed, your commitment and devotion to the residents of the city of Frederick is to be commended. Congratulations on this well-deserved recognition, Jason Michael. And last but certainly not least, in appreciation for your leadership and perseverance in getting this enhanced nutrient removal upgrade project completed, your commitment and devotion to the residents of the city of Frederick is to be commended. Congratulations on this well-deserved recognition, Stona Costner. So this is probably a first. I'm at a function and I'm the one not wearing the jacket and Stona is the one who is. So thanks for making me look good. At this time, to wrap things up, I'm going to turn the podium over to Tracy Coleman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have a couple brief things and then we'll do the actual ribbon cutting. We have ribbon, we have scissors, it would be great. If you haven't had a chance to pick up one of the flyers, it's a very, very brief discussion and paper on the project itself, the details of it, and some of the successes that were mentioned today. I want to thank everybody for coming today. This has been an incredible success, and it's the team that was necessary to get this monumental job done. So thank you all for coming. If we could go up here.